Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tyler Laviolette, Two Guys Talk Sports. Jake is still currently out dealing with family situations. He will be back. He should be back next week. So just me being solo again for the third week in a row. And our first topic today. Oh man, it's been pretty good if you're a Tigers fan. Took 2 out of 3 from the Guardians, 3-0 win yesterday, and a opportunity to go back on and with a loss by the White Sox to the Reds. The Tigers and the Rangers struggling. The Tigers are now with holding on the last wild card spot, heading into a crucial weekend series with the White Sox here in Detroit. This run has been surprisingly good for a team that just traded their best pitchers in Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize 2 weeks ago. Suddenly, they're, just like to quote A.J. Hint from 24, someone let the Tigers get hot. Clearly, it is happening again. Am I saying this is how it's going to be for a playoff run? Maybe. But if the Tigers can at least take 2 from the White Sox, heck, maybe sweep them, you could be looking at a tie for first in the AL Central come Sunday, heading into the Monday off break. These are some fun times to be in Detroit right now. And hey, you got Eduardo Valencia doing good, and Max Clark, he's done well. The Jackson Zord, I think, has been coming back, and it's been a good run for these Tigers. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy your time as being a Tigers fan, because suddenly the rough times from May and June, they're gone. Combined with the rough times that of all the talk of Tarek Skubal getting traded. He's traded, and yes, the Dodgers have had some issues, but they're still 8 games up on the Padres in the NL West. So fans can complain about the Dodgers all they want, but hey, it's still got a little time to go. And back to Detroit, yes, there's still time to go in the playoffs. Don't get to the playoffs, but don't let up. If you're a Tigers fan, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be like a team that struggles and has a problem late. Those late season chokes won't be pretty if they happen. Hope they don't happen, for that matter. Time will definitely tell. Shifting gears, we have the IndyCar released their 2027 schedule yesterday. Sort of. I say sort of because they're doing it in phases. The plan is for a 17-race schedule, but 8 races were unveiled recently. It starts in March in St. Petersburg, Florida, and then goes to a doubleheader at NASCAR's O'Reilly Series at Phoenix, and then the streets of Arlington around AT&T Stadium and Globe Life Field in Texas, and then Barber Motorsports in early April. And then followed that up with Long Beach. The month of May is going to have all the IndyCar action. An early test open test for the 500 to start, then the Indy GP on the road course, and then the practice, and then the 500 and the carb day before 500 as well. Early June, as things stand, Detroit hosts the race after the 500. Beyond that is to be determined. As far as what happens for races 9 onward, that's unknown. Those will be released later in Phase 2. One key holdup had been NASCAR's schedule had not been released in full. excuse me there, with so issues like the Chicago street course. Will that be returning? What will happen with Chicagoland after its return? And heck, sorry, with the Coronado street course at Naval Base in San Diego. Does that come back? So, the question is, when you get those figured out, what does IndyCar do? What do they do for places like Nashville? Where do they slot WeatherTech race like Laguna Seca? Where do they slot Portland, Gateway? What about the new race in Ontario and Markham near Toronto? That's replacing the downtown trial race. And give me 1 second. Drive-through hit me. And what happened about DC? Does that become a multi-year event? Even though the report said it was going to be a 1-year deal. So, and you got a new car chassis and body design coming with the rework in 2028. So you're going to be using one more year of the 2012 chassis, and then that's it. But it's looking like a Polo championship run at that for this year. But next year, don't assume the season is going to end in June, because it's not. It'll end in September or late August, like it will this year, but all the other races are to be determined. A rough loss for the Lions last night in Cincinnati. Isaac Tesla struggled. The team did get some touchdowns, yes, but here's the thing you have to consider about these games, these 3 preseason games. Several things to consider. One, you don't expect the starters much. Yes, Isaac Tesla played and he struggled, but it's playing time, if at that. I expect for the games at home next Saturday and the game against the Colts in Indy to have maybe a bit more of the starters, but we'll see on how that goes as you get more and more roster cuts into each of the game as we progress. Also, did you enjoy the bias? If you watched the game last night, did you enjoy the bias coverage that Fox 2 had with the Lions focus announcers and the fancy score graphics? If you're new to the NFL, do not get comfortable with this stuff. Come September, Fox and CBS on Sunday afternoons, NBC Sunday night, Prime on Thursdays, and ESPN and some ABC games on Monday night. That stuff all gets centralized into those networks. You'll have supposedly unbiased coverage, and of course, your team's going to be on a different network every week with a different announcing crew based on the 1 p.m. time slot, the 5 time slot on Sundays, or the 4:25 p.m. time slots if you're in a prime opportunity, afternoon opportunity, or the many 8:20 slots on Mondays, Sunday, or Thursdays. Still, or heck, even a 9:30 for the European games. Like Lions will have one in November against the Patriots in Munich. That's a game that looks really. So, back to preseason though. Yes, the Lions struggled. Yes, we're starting to worry about a quarterback now that Teddy Bridgewater retired. But here's the thing. A lot of these guys aren't going to make the final team. I know that because, well, roster cuts have to get it down to like 60 man, I think it is, on an NFL team. And, yes, there are struggles. And yes, you didn't see Jared Goff or St. Brown or others, or maybe Curry Joseph for that matter. And yes, they struggled with Isaac Tesla. Or you didn't even see Aiden Hutchinson much, if at all, for that matter. That's kind of normal in these in these 3 preseason games. Starters don't get much reps early on. By later on, for the final week, they could very well be getting a good amount of them, if at that. That's stuff to keep in mind. The games don't matter or anything. You don't play your divisional rivals in Chicago, in Green Bay, or Minnesota, and you're always playing teams you may have played in the past, but you don't play this year. Like up ahead, the Lions played the Commanders. I know I played them last year, and same with the Bengals last year, and they also played the Colts who played 2 years ago. They don't play them again in the rest of the season. They're done. Simple as that. They're done replacing the Lions for a while based on the schedule rotation. I hope to expect a good run for the Lions going forward, but right now, don't expect much. And please don't hit the panic button just because of a loss against against the Bengals last night. It's just preseason, people. It's just preseason. And congratulations are definitely in order for Royal Oak, the Royal Oak Leprechauns of the Northwoods League, managed and also with team president by former Yankee and Birmingham Brother Rice alum DJ LeMahieu in the team's 3rd season in the Summer Collegiate League, won last night in St. Cloud, Minnesota against the St. Cloud Rocks 3-1 in an impressive playoff run that saw them win the second half of the Great Lakes Division, win that best of 3 series, go into the Great Lakes Championship game, win that, and then travel to Minnesota for the championship game with the winner with the Rocks of St. Cloud, Minnesota. Definitely congratulations are in order for that team for bringing a championship to Metro Detroit. That league is it the 4th team in Michigan? All 4 have won championships now. With the Kalamazoo Growlers, the Traverse City Pittsbitters, and the Battle Creek Battlejacks having won as well. And now it's Royal Oak's turn. Jake and I, we have been to the stadium in the past. Nice little ballpark near downtown, near Woodward Avenue. Well renovated. Very small, yes. Not a lot of seats. Only 600 or so, and seats are hard and plastic. But not every ballpark has to look all fancy schmancy. Yes. But hey, it got the job done from what Jake and I said. And wonderful little ballpark if you're in Royal Oak. Cheap tickets. And I hope they can come back next season and defend their title. And depending on when this gets released onto the TV, this weekend, here in Waterford, will mark the return of hydroplane racing on Pontiac Lake as Quake on the Lake makes its triumphant return with the American Powerboat Association for the first time in 10 years after struggling with declining volunteer support. So if you're if you want to do anything fun these next 2 days, go ahead and go down to Pontiac Lake and go to watch some hydroplane racing. It's been a while since we've heard the loud boats going along Pontiac Lake. And as someone whose family has a home nearby, it was nice for so long hearing all the boats, knowing you can hear the loud engines and at times the music from concerts. And it's going to be great to know that that's coming back this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. The races are at 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Free admission, if I remember correctly, although you will need to pay extra for pit passes, obviously. And hopefully I can get to do some action with that. And maybe try to get some film. It's going to be kind of a little difficult when you're standing along in the viewing areas and trying to get a view of the boats going by. But, hey, I'll try to get some footage of that. And, hey, like I said, it's going to be great to have it coming back to the city of Waterford, Michigan. We have, as a Waterford resident, and as someone who also lived one town over in White Lake, I can attest to the fact that it's fun, it's exciting, and I cannot wait to be able to know that it is back here and to hear the roar of the loud hydroplanes starting at Saturday at 11 a.m. along the shores of Pontiac Lake, watching from Pontiac Lake recreational area. Like I said, it is fun and definitely worth going if you want to see some fun hydroplane races. Weather dependent, obviously, so hopefully the weather stays nice, because I want to see it happening back as much as you guys do. Well, again, I know this is going to be a short video, and last week I apologized for if I sounded a little down, but things happen. Anyway, Jake, once again, we miss you. Hope to have you back next weekend. And special thanks to Josh and Whitney and Jim Powers and all the other folks at Waterford at WTV Channel 10 for having us help these out these past almost 2 years. We would not have been able to get to where we are at if it wasn't for folks like you. And, of course, Jake Waxman, who I hope to have back next Friday. Be sure to follow us on Two Guys Talk Sports on Facebook, as well as here on YouTube on Two Guys Talk Sports and other things on YouTube for more great content like this. In a few weeks, I will be going to a minor league baseball game with Jacob on the 23rd, which is actually next weekend, with Lansing Lugnuts. Hope to have some content for you from that. And on the 30th, I will be going to a Tigers game down in Detroit against the Dodgers. Like I said in the past, there are rumors that Scooble could be facing the Tigers. May or may not be the game I'm going to, but anything's possible. So, for now, this is Tyler Laviolette, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful weekend here in wherever you're watching this from. Take care, and have a good weekend.